It will no longer be strongly recommended that they quarantine for 14 days. It will be mandatory. They will be given an order in French and in English, depending on their language of choice, by the CBSA, who will tell them of the requirements under their order to remain isolated, to not have stops along the way. We're also ordering returning passengers that they cannot take public transit to return to their homes. So we'll be facilitating transportation for people that don't have private transportation options. And finally, we'll be ensuring that people that are living with vulnerable people, such as elderly people or people that fit the criteria of more at risk in terms of immune suppression, etc., have alternative places to stay if that's their only choice. There will be follow-up, there will be random screening, and there will be spot screening based on particular situations. And my officials are working with CBSA right now to ensure that people know that this will be serious and that there will be significant penalties if people violate the quarantine. So all travelers, yeah. So all travelers that don't have an opportunity to return in a private vehicle, for example, will be provided transportation to their destination. For those travelers who are arriving at one of the 4 international airports and connecting, they will be asked to quarantine in place in those cities for 14 days, and we will provide the accommodation and meals for those situations. They will be screened through CBSA, obviously all international travelers, and they will be provided the information that they need to take with them about the quarantine order. That will include the penalties if they violate the quarantine order. They will also be provided the supports depending on their personal circumstances around transportation and around onward travel. There will be a variety of different methods, but likely buses that will be able to transport people. Again, it will be depending on the situation, and my officials are working through those details with CBSA right now. That's exactly what will be worked out today, is how we actually keep people safe as they travel through the airport. There'll be additional screening questions on kiosks as well, and as I said, those details are being worked out as we get ready for the midnight implementation. Well, listen, the screening is happening according to the process that PHAC has worked out with CBSA. The challenge, as I said over and over and over with this virus, is that the symptoms can be incredibly mild. And so we know that someone may be mildly symptomatic and not even know yet that they are. A scratchy throat, for example, a slight cough, for example. So people are obviously to their best of their ability presenting their symptoms. We have heard reports of people who are concealing their symptoms. It's really important that people take this seriously. You have to pretend that you are actually holding the virus and that you may very well transmit it to the person that is closer to you than 6 feet away. This is of utmost importance that we take this seriously. The people in our lives are depending on us to take the recommendations of public health seriously. This is the best advice of public health officials in Canada, that we have heard a number of reports of returning Canadians. That's right. So we have heard a number of reports of Canadians from individual citizens and others, and through other means, that people are not understanding that this 14 days is absolutely essential to protect the health of their fellow Canadians and their loved ones in their community. And so there is perfect clarity around the need to isolate when Canadians come back from abroad, whether it's from the USA or other international destinations. We are implementing the Quarantine Act, so there is no confusion about the need to do so, whether you are symptomatic or not.
So it's a consequence.
It is an additional measure we're taking to ensure that people have perfect clarity about what they must do when they return to Canada. Yes, I don't know exactly when that's coming out, but we will be releasing information as soon as we receive it through Public Health Agency of Canada. They're working on that modelling right now based on what we have and based on the data that we have, and we'll be providing additional modelling on our website. There is some already, by the way, in terms of data that we are acquiring and what the curve looks like in Canada on our website, which is canada.ca/coronavirus. We have arrangements already with a variety of different hotels and facilities in the 4 destinations where international flights are arriving, and we have additional measures that we can take if necessary.